good, you just can't stop hitting that play button.
Totally. You just want to devour every single episode.
Absolutely. And that's what we're diving into today. What is it about certain podcasts that makes them so captivating? We're going deep on someone's thoughts on what makes a podcast truly binge-worthy.
Right, because it's obviously more than just pressing record and hoping for the best.
Way more. And get this, they use the words high energy and even thrilling to describe these captivating podcasts.
Thrilling is a really interesting word to use.
I know, it's like, how do you get that heart-pounding feeling with only audio?
Yeah, it's easy to see how visual mediums like movies or TV can be thrilling, but audio.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is, sound has this incredible power to tap into our emotions. When it's done right, audio can really get under your skin in a way that visual sometimes can't.
Okay, yeah.
It's about how podcasters use things like pacing. For example, a fast-paced segment can get your heart racing, or like a well-placed pause. That can build up so much
Oh,
suspense.
totally. Like in that fiction podcast, Dark Dice.
Yeah.
They use this combo of whispering voices and then like what sounds like footsteps running through the woods.
Oh, I know that one. It's so well done.
It's terrifying.
See, that's a great example of how sound design can be subtle, but when it's done well, it can be incredibly powerful. But you know what else this person mentioned that I thought was interesting?
What's that?
They talked about the idea of mixing humor and suspense.
Together.
Yeah.
Wait, how does that even work? It seems like they totally contradict each other.
Right. It's a tricky balance to strike, but when it's done right, it creates this amazing emotional roller coaster that just keeps you completely hooked.
So it's like 1 minute you're on the edge of your seat and then the next you're bursting out laughing.
Exactly. But it all comes down to comedic timing, knowing when to insert a bit of humor to break the tension, and then seamlessly bringing that suspense right back. It's a real art.
Totally. And this person nailed it when they said, and I'm quoting here, never sure what's coming next, but always eager to find out. I mean, isn't that the feeling we're always chasing?
100%. It's that element of surprise mixed with anticipation. It's what keeps us coming back for more.
For sure. Okay, so we've talked about the technical stuff, the sound design, the pacing, but what about the content itself? They mentioned that fascinating guests, compelling stories, and sharp banter are essential for a good podcast. Is that really all it takes?
Well, those are certainly key ingredients, but let's dig a little deeper into why these things are so important for keeping listeners engaged.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Let's start with fascinating guests. It's more than just having someone with an impressive title or a bunch of awards. It's about finding guests who are true experts in their fields and, just as importantly, who know how to share their knowledge in a way that resonates with listeners, you know? People who can make you really think, wow, I never knew that.
Totally. It's like on Radiolab. Remember that episode where they had that astrophysicist on and she explained black holes using like a basketball and a trampoline?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That visual just blew my mind. I
Yeah.
still think about it to this day.
Exactly. And that's what makes a good guest so memorable. They find creative ways to make even the most complex topics relatable and engaging.
For sure. And what about compelling stories?
Ah, stories. Humans are hardwired for storytelling. It's in our DNA. When we hear a good story, we connect with it on such a deep emotional level, which makes the information so much more impactful and memorable.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you I'm way more likely to remember something I learned from a podcast if it was told through a captivating story as opposed to just being, presented as facts and figures.
Right. And finally, there's that sharp banter, those spontaneous, unscripted moments where you can hear the genuine laughter, feel the playful energy between the hosts. They're so crucial for creating a sense of authenticity.
It makes you feel like you're part of the conversation, not just listening to something that was, perfectly edited together.
Exactly. It breaks down the barrier between the podcasters and the listener. And, it reminds us that at the end of the day, it's about making a connection.
So it's like a conversation you'd have with a friend.
Exactly. It's about remembering that while the technical aspects of podcasting are important, what truly makes a podcast captivating is its ability to connect with listeners on a genuine human level.
It's all about that human connection, which I guess maybe begs the question, with so much focus on what makes a podcast captivating, what responsibility do creators have to make sure that while they're entertaining us, they're also being, thoughtful and responsible?
That's a really great question, and one that I think deserves its own conversation.
Definitely. And a great place for us to leave it for today. Thanks for listening.